Hello, welcome back. That was an interesting game. And
It was very interesting, indeed.
as you said, Spart1e versus rmplr. We're getting the games pretty quick today. This is good.
We are indeed
This is definitely
banging them out, which is what we like to see.
That's what I like to do in my spare time.
Yeah.
But
I have nothing to add to that. I'll just leave that, just sitting there.
thanks for the awkward silence.
That's good.
That was
We're all good.
really required.
So we have Spart1e and rmplr. So what do you think? rmplr, of course, doing pretty well against.
Did
who was
better
it?
than I thought. The triple sex.
Oh yes, triple six, of course.
But I think there's a chance here if we saw a practice game earlier and Spart1e was hitting insane rails. But if rmplr can hold it together, we could see a close match. But it really depends on how the maps go down and this and that and the other.
Do you think that rmplr has an edge on any particular map? Is he particularly proficient at any map in particular?
Blood Run, I guess.
Is he a Blood Runner?
I don't know if he is a Blood Runner, but if he has the opportunity, then Spart1e did mention that is one of the maps that he is weaker on.
Oh, that's true, actually. Spart1e doesn't have a lot of weaknesses as well.
It's drop. So I'm pretty sure Spart1e's going to get rid of it first.
Just looking at his
not sure what we'll see.
rmplr's QR ranks, he does have a nice big portion of aerial walk toxicity and furious heights. So yeah, interesting things. Almost at 2k elo is rmplr. So
yeah,
it'd be quite interesting to see if he, because of course he's like a kind of, I don't know how long he's been around actually. I don't know if you know, but he does seem to be doing pretty well overall. He's improving all the time.
1,700 duels tracked. It's quite a fair amount.
And do you remember last week we had was it Gonik, I think the Polish player, almost taking Spart1e out on toxicity. Was it who? Sorry.
Gonik. G-I-E-N-E-K.
Oh, okay, there's no O's. Oh.
I don't know.
Either way,
it
was a close call for Spart1e, and he had a few close calls before hitting the best of 3 format. So might want to stay on his toes and not get too sloppy in the earlier stages.
I think Spart1e got a little bit stressed last week towards the finals. It went one map Spart1e, one map Evil, one map Spart1e, one map Evil. And then I think the tiebreaker, Spart1e was either getting a little bit fatigued, and I don't think he was happy with the way his internet connection was tolerating the servers. I hope Spart1e, I know that Spart1e is very capable of winning today, and he's definitely going to be rooting for that position because he wants to practice hard for DreamHack. So he wants all the games he possibly can get, at least under the sort of competitive sort of atmosphere. I was checking out the brackets. Bracket's still pretty monumental, so we're trying to trim down some games.
Yeah, still a lot of games going on. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we got Backstein in this tournament. I wonder if we'll see a Backstein Spart1e final, because Spart1e's made like the last 2 finals. We had the Saturday show, Match Cup or whatever, and the Sunday Cup last week too. And Spart1e was featured in both finals against Evil and against Pavel. No, is it Pavel?
It was both Evil.
Was it Evil?
Both times? Both of them were Evil, I think.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. So
okay, well,
it came down to Evil.
Maybe, I mean, Evil's in this one. Maybe we'll have another Spart1e Evil series, which will be quite good. I think it went to 5 maps every time. So
they are on the opposite sides of the bracket, so we could see them together. I think Backstein's on Evil's side of the bracket. Firebot's on his side of the bracket. Guard is also looking on the Evil side of the bracket.
Good to see Guard again. I liked watching Guard. He's been a lacking presence for a while. Like we haven't seen him in quite a few FACEITs. So.
Yeah,
he's just had to forfeit because of his internet. It's like so unreliable.
Yeah.
So many players are suffering from that. We've got CZM who suffers from unreliable internet, Spart1e, and we've got Guard. I think there's another one as well.
Internet's going back in time at the moment.
Yeah, we're going backwards. It should be getting better over time.
CZM is also on the Evil side of the bracket, I wanted to say. I think I'm reading this correctly. I've just named quite a lot of big names, and they all seem to be on the same side of the bracket. Am I sure I'm reading this correctly? Not really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the map selection process right now. They've dropped DM13 or Lost World. They've dropped Airwalk and ZTN. So we could see a Toxicity or a Furious Heights, I guess. Or a Silence.
Oh, they're dropping.
Oh, they dropped Hectic too.
DM13. Okay, Spart1e does drop it eventually. rmplr drops Airwalk. That's the map that he's played the most on his thing. So obviously he doesn't really feel happy to have a kind of rail off against Spart1e. And maybe rmplr is going to be rooting for Furious Heights. I'm not going to be surprised if we'll see a Furious Heights between these two.
Yeah, he'll definitely be able to take it slow, which might be nice. I mean, Spart1e's pretty comfortable on those aggressive maps.
He doesn't want
but no T7, so Silence or Toxicity and Silence are left. So Toxicity or silence? Let's root for silence, I guess. Get some...
rmplr is... Yeah, we want silence because we haven't seen it yet today.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. So we have silence, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. So we get into the silence game momentarily, and I think that I've got to give this to Spart1e. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, it's hard not to. I think maybe if rmplr plays it slowly, we could see something.
What about score prediction? Let's do score predictions.
Oh, I'm going to say something like 15-7 for Spart1e.
15-7?
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to say 40 to -2 for Spart1e. Let's do this, Spart1e. You're going to have to play a hell of a game, man. Come on.
AFK.
Yeah.
And spawning like at the top level, and then a rocket bounces him and makes him crater a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a certain level of players where it's like it doesn't really matter like how good if you're playing like okay, maybe it matters if you're playing Rafa or someone to that level, but if you're playing like the really high level, it's just really hard to frag someone who knows Duel well enough.
Yeah.
Like maybe that guy will never win, but he'll still like not lose by 40 frags sort of thing because he knows how to at least play defensively, and so the other players to give him respect. So maybe I'm being a bit disrespectful of rmplr there, but I want to see Spart1e go on a rampage. Yeah,
no, I'm going to be surprised though if rmplr. I don't know. I like to say it's going to be a fairly close game, but I'm counting on rmplr really playing it decisively, and I'm hoping that Spart1e shows him some respect and doesn't just rush in and bard around. And
he does like to do that though, but before we talk any more about that, we're going to go straight into the game. So here we go, the countdown has begun.
rmplr versus Spart1e here on silence, guys. Let's go now on Spart1e. He's going to get himself the lightning gun. He is spawning by Mega Helper. Looks like he wants to be a little bit aggressive. Does spot his opponent taking that red armor, and Spart1e's got a ton of options at the moment for what items he could take. But really at the moment it's just all about the damage, and he is probably going to give away this yellow armor.
Indeed, and Spart1e gets the Mega though. Make sure that it's safe to pick up first. He's quite aware of how dangerous that Mega can be, and he will not fall foul to any shenanigans. But here comes rmplr on the attack at the red armor, and this attack over the red is going to be pretty damaging to both players. And rmplr positioned below with that shaft. Spart1e very carefully just trying to edge down, and we'll find rmplr once again. Oh, he's definitely so low, misses the rail, and that will be all 0 for rmplr right there. And Spart1e starts the game with 1 frag up.
I think that was really close. rmplr almost going for the pummel, getting a lot of damage. Spart1e's missing his shots at the moment, but the rocket, I think that was the savior at the moment because Spart1e was very close to going down. I feel bad for rmplr. I feel like he really had a great opportunity to get that first frag. Spart1e did what he did best, and again, back-to-back rails is going to make it a 3rd frag. See what rmplr, is he going to edge onto that yellow side of the map and just chill the hell out? Or does he still want a piece of Swedish meatballs?
I like that move there by rmplr. We didn't really get to see it working, but he was really trying to shut down Spart1e on that choke point with that shot. Even though he didn't really have the health to engage Spart1e, he wanted to use that choke point to like create a really efficient fight, and that was really nice. So good awareness from rmplr, and rmplr defending that Mega will pick it up, but Spart1e is getting really low, increasingly lower and lower as those cells from rmplr hit, and rmplr doing a great job. I mean, a series of plays there, basically amounting in a stack advantage for Spart1e with those rails. rmplr still has to be very scared, very careful with Spart1e, and now Spart1e has even things up, and is even going to get the frag.
I guess it's sort of on the way to your score position. But that was crazy. Spart1e was just hitting shots. rmplr wasn't really paying attention to where he was. He was just on his road. Yeah, I'm just going to pick up this item, and not really taking into account that there's maybe 200 damage going on from directions he's not even aware it exists. Spart1e doing a fair bit of damage. Again, the lightning gun coming through, but I get the feeling that Spart1e might back off before the frag can take place. The rocket just inching away from his face. I'm going to switch over to rmplr and see what's up with him. See maybe if he can get 1 frag, but Spart1e is being so evasive. Oh, there we are, back off the negative numbers.
rmplr is actually really making a lot of chances for himself. Whether he capitalizes on them is up to him, and here we go, another engagement on Spart1e, also spawn, and we'll pick up another frag, and it's pretty clean. He can get this red and this Mega. It's going to be absolutely huge for rmplr as he's able to potentially extend the lead quite a lot, and will go for the frag. He could even leave the red up at that point and dive onto the Mega, but instead he's going to get that red, just make sure he's got it, and Spart1e going for that Mega will hit that rocket. That rocket, absolutely crazy. I mean, I can't believe that. The red rocket hit, that's going to be really painful for rmplr. His stack isn't as good as it could be now, but rmplr doing really well so far, and Spart1e is going to get found again with some key rockets and sharp follow-up.
Really nice by rmplr.
rmplr is looking quite good.
He's in the lead and everything. I mean, so something we weren't predicting, and more damage on Spart1e. He could pick himself up another frag. Red armor is up at the moment. He surely doesn't want to let Spart1e get his hands on that one. So close. Really very little fear we're seeing from rmplr at the moment, and this should be one more doubling the score up. Mega health is available, but he wants to get damage, but the switch, that's not what he wanted to happen. That's really not good news for him. We could see the change of control turning hands very, very soon.
Yeah, but rmplr, as long as he can stay under control of his emotions and his mental state, he can keep this going for himself. No. But unfortunately, he's not able to handle Spart1e's rocket jump attack. And that will be the end of rmplr's control for now. But rmplr is making a lot of great opportunities for himself. He's making some good plays, strong plays, and we'll find Spart1e once again. And not really the kind of engagement he wanted there. I mean, he would have had to have hit so much more shaft than Spart1e. Not a great thing to try and rely upon, but Spart1e now, with that Mega, with some armor to work with, is just going to pin his opponent down as this red is spawning imminently, and he doesn't want to take an engagement just yet.
Yeah, there's not even anywhere to put on any damage. Got red and Mega spawning at the same time. Could have a bit of an impact, but at the moment it is really the speed of the game is being decided by Spart1e, and rmplr, I think, a tiny bit of lag, but he doesn't look too put off by it, so I think he would have gone down regardless of the situation. Again, Spart1e probably going to be heading towards the middle side of the map, wants to put some more damage onto his opponent. Plus he's going to have to find him.
Yeah, not to count rmplr out yet. It's 6-4 to Spart1e. Spart1e with some big control right now. It's like the biggest stack we've seen so far in this game, 5 minutes into it. But rmplr, he's shown us that he knows how to take these leads back, especially from Spart1e so far in this match. And if he can continue to do that, we can have a really scary game for Spart1e. Again, doesn't want to go on the best of one format, but here's another engagement. rmplr getting some nice defensive rockets. It's just not quite enough, as Spart1e's stack is just so huge, and that rail hurts badly for rmplr.
You know, rmplr could really do with a telefrag. I'm going to prescribe that to him. Oh, he's going to steal. No, he can't make the steal on the red armor. Mega health up in a second. And again, Spart1e is just hitting these ridiculous rails that are connecting it with the fin. But once again, 9-4, we are seeing Spart1e. Looks like he's starting to pick up his momentum, pick up the pace. And rmplr's finding it harder, increasingly hard to respond. Now he's got quite a few frags he's got to make up. A couple of good rails. Is there going to be more? Not just yet, at least.
Yeah, and with Spart1e having such an overpoweringly huge stack, rmplr's in a position where he's got to hit a bunch of rails in a row, and Spart1e instead is the one hitting all the rails, and that's not the right way around for how things should be in rmplr's mind. And that's just, I mean, that's all the options that rmplr has when Spart1e's so stacked. But right now, Spart1e isn't massively stacked. Getting that Mega so cleanly is such a bad omen. And those rails, Spart1e just doesn't need a switch. He is just going to use the rail to the end of days. And again, rmplr trying to use that choke point, but just doesn't have enough stack to defend it with.
And I don't think Spart1e's missed a rail now for about 7 or 8 shots. rmplr's going to go down once more, and you see, okay, it's going to be 3 more frags for rmplr in the next 3.5 minutes. We'll see good luck.
To be honest,
Spart1e's low. We could see this here. We could see a frag from rmplr. He is going to make one back. 14-5. Red and Mega at the same time, and Spart1e's going to kill himself. He's dropped back down to 13, and this is a decision that rmplr's got to make. He's lost out on that red armor, but great recovery with some very, very nice lightning gun work. He's got that Mega health going for him. A yellow armor now. Spart1e. This could hurt rmplr if he engages too fast. The rockets as well. And Spart1e gets back to that 14 frag mark.
Yeah, rmplr feeling that pressure, feeling like he has to make frags back quickly. He's so far behind right now. And unfortunately, unable to pull off the miracle, because going off the jump pad against Spart1e, those are miracle rockets you're going to have to hit in order to actually kill him in that spot. But yeah, rmplr though, I mean, he's really shown a good game, regardless of how the end score's going to turn out. I feel like he can only be pleased with how he played it.
I think the beginning really was where he shone.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely played really well, made some great plays, but
what is going on
the rail is the difference, really. I mean, if you just look at the rails, like Spart1e's hit like twice as much rail. rmplr's hit almost no rail at all. Like 2 hits.
Again! Come on, Spart1e. How do you miss a rail? He can teach us how to hit, but no, he's not really, there's no opportunity at the moment where he's missing his shots. This is ludicrous. Oh, there we go. Okay, I saw it. I've got solid evidence that he didn't hit a rail.
Yeah, and rmplr has hit only 2 rails in this entire game. And if you think about it, like, he's been on the downside most of the time, so he's been making his way back in other ways. And unfortunately for him, though, that only goes so far. Like, you can't really get away with hitting like 20% rail in this kind of level. But it's great to see rmplr playing because, like, he clearly has some skills. Like, he knows what he's doing. And, I mean, we're going to see some great things from him as he gains more and more experience. We're going to see some good things from rmplr in the future. And it would be cool. I mean, Finland getting another representative.
Yeah, why not?
Play for them.
Spart1e getting some rail ammunition. And you can hit a few. Oh no, that was an easy shot. What? Okay, that wasn't. Okay, he's bordering onto that 60% mark. But maybe the first 3 minutes of the game, it felt like Spart1e wasn't hitting too much. Nice shot by Spart1e. But really towards the latter stages, I'm going to check the stats quickly. Yeah, 20 shots out of 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 out of 12. Why not? And at the moment, really, this is just sort of a victory lap for Spart1e.
Yeah,
go through
good way to put it.
You know what round that was? Is this round of 64 or 30?
I am unsure of the round.
rmplr played against triple sets, and the winner of that went against Spart1e, so it's going to be round of 64. I'm pretty sure certain of that. So it's still a while till we're going to get to the best of 3 stages. But that's not a bad thing. We've got such an intense game this season. It does seem like Spart1e is going to be taking it one step further and see if he can pull himself in the same position he was last week, fighting for that first place. As far as rmplr finds him, Spart1e panics, freaks out, and the
self-kill at the end. But yeah, definitely rmplr. I mean, here we go. Spart1e wins 16-6 over rmplr on the map Silence, and I think Spart1e was sweating a bit. I mean, rmplr was showing some scary stuff there for a while. I mean, he was creating a lot of opportunities. Really, it did not look like it was Spart1e's game necessarily. rmplr was having a really even go at things. I mean, do you have any thoughts before we go to commercial?
No, I think rmplr really, his accuracies may have let him down a bit. He's hitting solidly at the beginning, but maybe I think, again, that situation where you're an up-and-coming player and then you're playing against someone who's seriously well-known and maybe just the mental game going down a bit.
Yeah, maybe he needs just a bit more experience, calm his nerves somewhat. But we'll be right back, guys. Another 30-second commercial, and then we'll be here with another game, and I'll let you know when we're back.